At 02:15 on June 24, 1944, Lieutenant Commander Richard O'Kane tracked 4 Japanese cargo ships through the periscope of USS Tang, calculating firing solutions as the convoy steamed through darkness. 3,200 yards ahead. He was 33 years old with 2 war patrols already completed. His mentor was dead. The convoy consisted of 6 large vessels guarded by 16 escort destroyers. O'Kane had learned submarine warfare from Douglas Motley, Morton aboard USS Wahoo. Morton taught him tactics that defied Navy doctrine, attack from inside convoys, not from the safe flanks where manuals said submarines belonged. Drive into formations. Fire ahead, fire behind. Use chaos as cover. Morton was gone now. Wahoo sank 3 months after O'Kane left to command Tang. 79 men were lost in October. 1943, the Pacific Fleet's best. Commander vanished beneath the Sea of Japan. O'Kane inherited more than tactics. He inherited a debt. Tang's first patrol in February had shown promise. 5 ships sunk. 16 torpedoes fired, 16 hits. But the Imperial Japanese Navy was adapting. Convoys traveled with heavier escorts. Captains zigzagged constantly. Depth charges fell faster. The second patrol in April yielded nothing. 0 attacks. Tang rescued 22 downed Navy pilots near Truk during carrier strikes, important work, but 0 tonnage. This third patrol needed results. O'Kane brought Tang into the Yellow Sea waters between Korea and China, where Japanese logistics routes ran thick. On June 21st, Tang found a lone freighter, Nanshin Maru, which went down in 4 minutes. 2 days later, another solo target, Nikken Maru, broke in half. But O'Kane wanted bigger prey, heavily guarded formations that other commanders avoided. Now, at 02:15 on June 24th, he had one. 6 cargo ships, 16 destroyers. Enough tonnage to make history. Tang closed distance. 2,800 yards. 2,400. O'Kane ordered battle stations. At 2,000 yards, he gave the command, surface attack. Full speed. Tang broke from the darkness straight into the formation. No submarine commander attacked convoys this way. It violated every safety protocol. O'Kane fired 3 torpedoes at the nearest cargo ship, shifted aim, and fired 3 more at the second target. Explosions erupted before he could confirm tracking. 2 cargo vessels burst into flames. Then O'Kane saw something unexpected. 4 ships were burning, not 2. The torpedo spread had been wider than calculated. His weapons punched through intended targets and struck 2 additional freighters. Positioned behind them, Tamahoko Maru, Tainan Maru, Nasusan Maru, Kenichi Maru. 16,292 tons destroyed in 90 seconds. Tang dove as escorts converged. Depth charges hammered the hull for 20 minutes. 4 ships in 1 attack, the most devastating single strike any American submarine had achieved. That night changed everything. O'Kane proved Morton's aggressive tactics worked. For the rest of June, Tang hunted without mercy. By July 3rd, Tang headed home with 10 ships sunk, 39,000 tons. The most successful war patrol ever completed. O'Kane's 4th patrol in August added 5 more vessels. His 5th patrol in September would break every remaining record. But that final mission would end with 24 torpedoes fired. 22 perfect hits, 1 miss, and the last torpedo curving left at 46 knots and racing back toward Tang in the darkness. Tang arrived at Pearl Harbor on July 12, 1944. Admiral Charles Lockwood, the sub-pack commander, met O'Kane at the dock. No American submarine had ever achieved 10 confirmed kills in a single mission. Lockwood recommended O'Kane for the Navy Cross, but O'Kane's tactics violated standard doctrine. He surfaced in the middle of enemy convoys, fired at point-blank range, and attacked multiple targets before diving. Every rule Morton had broken. O'Kane was breaking on Tang. Some commanders called it reckless. Others called it revolutionary. Tang underwent 3 weeks of maintenance. 2 crew members requested transfer. O'Kane's aggressive style wasn't for everyone. On August 4th, Tang departed for her 4th war patrol, destined for waters off Honshu, closer to Japan. This meant heavier air coverage, more destroyer escorts, and better-trained anti-submarine crews. O'Kane cared only about tonnage. On August 10th, Tang spotted a tanker. 3 torpedoes missed, the first miss of O'Kane's career. The next day, he sank Roko Maru and number 2 Nansatu Maru. By August 25th, the patrol's final attack. Tang used her last 3 torpedoes to sink a tanker, bringing O'Kane's total to 20 ships across 4 patrols in 7 months. Admiral Lockwood offered O'Kane a shore assignment, a teaching position. O'Kane requested 1 more patrol. Lockwood approved it. Tang would depart September 24th for the Formosa Strait, the most heavily defended water passage in the Western Pacific. O'Kane prepared for 3 weeks. 24 Mark 18 electric torpedoes were loaded, the newest model. No wake, but with 1 documented problem. Steering mechanisms failed less than 1% of the time, causing the torpedoes to turn in circles. On September 24th, Tang slipped out of Pearl Harbor before dawn with 87 men aboard. Only 9 would see home again. O'Kane chose solo transit, avoiding a coordinated attack group. For 12 days, Tang navigated enemy-controlled waters in complete radio silence. On October 10th, Tang reached the operational zone without detection. That night, radar detected a convoy. Tang surfaced, and at 23:30, fired 4 torpedoes, sinking the freighters Joshua Go and Oitamaru, first blood of the 5th Patrol. For the next 13 days, Tang patrolled the strait without significant contacts, pushing deeper into dangerous waters. On October 23rd, radar detected a massive formation, 3 tankers, 1 transport, 1 freighter, and at least 8 escort destroyers, the largest convoy Tang had encountered. O'Kane tracked them for 6 hours. At 23 hours, he gave the order: surface, full speed. Tang charged directly into the formation. The night exploded in violence. O'Kane fired 2 torpedoes into the nearest tanker, which erupted in flames. He hit the middle and farthest tankers with single and double shots, respectively. 3 tankers were burning in 90 seconds. Then a Japanese transport turned directly toward Tang, attempting to ram. O'Kane ordered emergency maneuvers, accelerating hard to port, turning inside the transport's turning radius, which narrowly missed Tang's stern before colliding with one of the burning tankers. O'Kane then aimed Tang's stern tubes at both crippled ships. 2 torpedoes fired, both hit. The transport and tanker went down together. 5 ships were destroyed in one attack. A destroyer raced toward Tang. O'Kane ordered a crash dive. 37 explosions hammered the hull for 20 minutes, the closest detonation cracking light fixtures. Tang survived, dove deep, and headed east. O'Kane had 6 torpedoes remaining. On October 24th, another convoy appeared. 3 cargo ships, 1 tanker, and multiple destroyers in tight formation. O'Kane waited for darkness. At 23 hours, Tang surfaced. He fired 2 torpedoes at the lead cargo ship. It broke in half. 2 more hit the second freighter, which listed heavily. 2 torpedoes were left. A destroyer detected Tang's position and charged at flank speed. O'Kane aimed the final 2 torpedoes at the charging destroyer, but both missed. The destroyer was too close. Tang dove, surviving 53 explosions, the worst barrage of the patrol. O'Kane surfaced 2 hours later. The convoy had escaped and all tubes were empty. Wait, the crew had miscounted. 1 Mark 18 torpedo remained in the aft torpedo room. Tube number 8, the last weapon aboard. Tang. At 02 WOW on October 25th. The radar detected 5 ships. O'Kane called battle stations for the last time. O'Kane ordered Tang to surface and close the distance, with the last torpedo being loaded into Tube 8. At 200 yards, O'Kane ordered the first shot. Tube 1 fired, hitting a transport. Tube 2 hit the second transport amidships. Tube 3 struck the large tanker under the stack, igniting aviation fuel. O'Kane then turned hard to port, firing Tubes 4 and 5 at the 2 remaining cargo ships in quick succession. Both hit. 5 ships hit. 23 torpedoes fired on the patrol. 22 hitting intended targets. 1 miss against the destroyer. But Tube 8 still held the single Mark 18. A destroyer escort broke formation and charged Tang's position. Distance 800 yards. The escort's deck guns opened fire. Shells splashed near Tang's conning tower. O'Kane aimed the final torpedo at the charging destroyer. At 02:30 on October 25, 1944, O'Kane gave the order: fire Tube 8. The Mark 18 torpedo launched. For 3 seconds, the weapon tracked perfectly. Then it broached the surface. O'Kane watched through binoculars as the propeller broke the waterline. The torpedo curved left, a sharp arc back toward Tang. Circular run. O'Kane screamed orders. Emergency power, full right rudder. Tang's turn couldn't happen fast enough. The submarine needed 60 seconds. The torpedo would reach Tang in 15. At 20 yards, the Mark 18 struck Tang's stern 3 feet below the waterline, directly beside the aft torpedo room. The explosion tore through 3 compartments instantly. Water flooded the aft torpedo room, then the engine room, then the maneuvering room. 3 compartments gone before damage control could react. Tang began sinking stern first, going down in 45 seconds. Of the 9 men on the bridge, only 3 survived in the water long enough to be rescued, including O'Kane, Lieutenant Lawrence Savadkin, and motor machinist's mate Jesse De Silva. One other officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Henry Flanagan, fought his way out of the flooded conning tower. Inside Tang, 30 men remained alive in the forward torpedo room. The aft sections had flooded completely. 78 men died in the initial explosion or drowned. The 30 survivors faced a choice: suffocate or attempt escape from 180 feet down using the Moms and Lung. No one had ever successfully escaped a submarine using the Moms and Lung in combat conditions at that depth. The first man, motor machinist's mate Clayton Decker, entered the escape trunk at 04 Ma, 2 hours after Tang sank. 12 more men followed. Out of the 13 who attempted the ascent, only 8 reached the surface alive. By 6 Mao, 9 men floated in the water. At 0730, a Japanese destroyer escort, Tachikaze, pulled the 9 Americans from the water. O'Kane climbed onto the deck last. Japanese survivors from the ships Tang had sunk occupied the destroyer. They recognized the submarine insignia, and the beatings intensified. The violence continued for 3 hours before guards locked the Americans below deck. Tachikaze steamed to Formosa. On November 13th, the transport docked at Yokohama, and the prisoners were moved to the Ofuna Interrogation Center, a secret facility unknown to the Red Cross. Interrogations began immediately. O'Kane provided nothing beyond name, rank, and serial number. The 9 Tang survivors, now prisoners of war, officially did not exist.